This is a new tarot card design inspired by the Goat Simulator games. I planned this one on my sketchbook using inks. Then I redrew it onto mixed media paper. It's a bit hard to see with the light, but it's there. Still trying to work out the light on my art videos. I will plan all of them in my sketchbook before I do the final one. That way I can work out any composition and color issues. In English, this card is called The Magician, I believe. I just wrote it in French because I started in French. Anyway, I think at the end I will scan them and do the writing digitally. The card is meant to represent start, enthusiasm, and motivation. Traditionally in the Tarot de Marseille, this is what the figure looks like. Since I am basing this set on the Goat Simulator games, many cards will not be similar to the traditional look. I could do it for the first one because it kind of fit. For this one I had to be more creative. In the Goat Simulator 3 game, there is a quest to help a hobo do his tent under a bridge. His name is Hobo the Grey, which is a play on the Lord of the Rings wizard, Gandalf the Grey. So he has the stereotypical long beard and pointy hat, just like Gandalf. Once you help him build his house under the bridge, you unlock these pink fairy wings to add to your goat, and his tent opens up a portal. Once you pass through the portal, it's such a bizarre level. There's like floating things where you can jump on, and your fairy wings allow you to sort of jump and flow. And in the background there is a gigantic Hobo the Grey with a portal on his hand. It's so bizarre. I'll try to put some screenshots to show the reference, because that is what I tried to depict for my The Wizard card. There's Pilgor the goat with her wings in the hands of the wizard Hobo the Grey. She is jumping onto the portal in his hand. I am using the inks from the brand Sennelier and I am inking with a dip pen. I'm going for the European card look, like the one I showed. So I tried to do the type of hatching that is not too overwhelming. If you see the card, it has hatching, but it's still in a stylized way. It's not a realistic inking illustration. I really want to achieve this kind of stylized look. So that's the plan, even if I fail. I did add some darker full blacks on the shadow of the hat. And I don't know what possessed me to do it with the dip pen, because I know it's easier to do that with a brush. I don't know what I was thinking. I work on the hatching very slowly to avoid a mistake. I have very shaky hands. I have what they call essential tremor. So my hands are always shaking. I just try to make it work with the painting. I'm again being very liberal on the color choice of Pilgor. It's supposed to be a grey goat, but I made her more bluish. It's more interesting to portray the grey in this way. However, Hobo the Grey will be truly grey, just watered down black ink. I think this way is good. Otherwise it would be either too much grey or too much blue-grey. I prefer them differently. It makes it easier on the eye to focus on one element, in my opinion. I left her belly white and the top of her head white too, just to follow her fur pattern. I want to do a flat color pattern, but I still left the edges on the white belly softer. I tried to make a soft transition there. The fairy wings in the video game are this bright neon color pink. I wish I could portray it, but I can't with the inks I currently have. I'm sure they must sell it, like a brighter pink color ink, just separately. I just had red, purple and yellow at the moment. I tried to combine them to make something special. Just trying to give a strange look to the wings, tried to brighten them. It didn't look like the color, but at least it has a strange look to make them stand out. And it definitely didn't brighten them, it's very dark in my opinion. I wish it could have been more bright. But it is what it is, and that is what I have. The background of the card is also very colorful. I tried to do a gradient between the blue and the purple to create that strange space look from the video game. It's just a bizarre level. But that's what I like about these games, how strange and bizarre they are. It's very creative. The transition always takes a while. In an ideal world, I would have something like masking tape to cover the parts I don't want to be painted on, and just apply the color all over. But since I don't have masking tape, I'll just have to make it work. I've honestly never used masking tape or masking fluid. I've only seen other artists on YouTube use it. It looks very convenient though. I'm just trying to do the gradient behind the man, avoiding painting over him and painting over the lines of the card edge. To do the skin color, I just used red ink and I watered it down. I think he came out too light in general, so I tried to darken him later, mostly by adding layers of the same color. I don't think I was too successful painting poor Hobo the Grey. I think his colors looked nicer on the sketch. I got to Hobo the Grey and I felt like there was a lot of grey. I also think maybe I should have darkened it more in the end. I did add more layers of the grey, but I still think it looks too light, especially compared to the sketchbook version. Just something to keep in mind for the next illustrations, I guess. For the rocks I also used grey, but it was too much, so I added a glaze layer of blue, just to make the color different from the hobo. Something else I should also think on improving is the line work. I think it would look nicer if I used thicker lines in general. Maybe I'll use a different tip pen, one that creates the lines a bit more thick. Pilgor the goat is my favorite element of the piece. I kind of feel like I like the sketchbook one more. Maybe it's just the overall feeling that I like sketches more than final paintings. Because I am happy with the end result, I just don't normally use inks for final illustrations. It is fun though. It's nice to strive for a different look.